active drones were cloned more.
So this intro was originally for the shipping video, but I kinda scrapped that video, so I'm using it for the Q&A. Hello my little dronies. I think I have to come up with a new intro soon, because if I don't cover Murdervers anymore, this doesn't make sense. But today, or actually some time ago, I hit 8,000 subscribers and we're still going strong. But because I think only the most loyal viewers are going to watch this video anyways, I can tell you a little secret. Most of my rise to fame are coming from YouTube Shorts videos, which is kinda embarrassing that I'm one of the people on the upper end doing Murdervers content, but literally nobody knows me. But also, to be fair, even though this number says 7,000 subscribers, this isn't actually true, because in the analysis I can see that almost 2,000 people desubscribe, so this value changes a lot and doesn't define me. Anyways, coping aside, before I go into the typical thank you message and read your questions, you may be already hearing the music in the background. It is made by a very small creator. I wanted to give a shout out, and she said I could use her music in the background. And I also wanted something a bit more unique than just the typical copyright-free background music for my videos, especially for such a special video kinda. And she's also the person that made my profile picture. But like, I just wanted to say thank you for all the support you have given me. Like I said in the first Q&A, which you shouldn't watch because it's bad, I thought like in my first year I'm probably going to get barely 100 subscribers, but now I'm at 1,000 subscribers and I have an absolute beautiful community, and I just can't thank you guys enough. But you're probably already tired of me yapping and want to see what people ask me. So let's jump into the first question. What would I do after episode 8 from Murdervers? Firstly, this question is from Astaminion from my Discord server. If you want, you can join. We have some fun conversations there. But that is a question I ask myself a lot, and the idea I have come up with, I'm just going to cover other indie animation shows that are fun, and I see what gets the most views, because that is what you guys probably want to see, and I'm going to stick with that for some time. I already made a video about fundamental paper education, and as soon as there are more releases I would instantly jump back on there. And I also would use custom OCs for each and every universe, like I did in that video. Fun fact, that OC I used in that video canonically died at the end of the video. But also I will continue to cover fan projects like I did with Intermission, and I'm especially looking forward to the project of animated a thing Insecurity. Or maybe I scrapped that idea entirely and become an art channel, because 402 people apparently want that. Next up, what made you do edits and theories and do a bunch of OCs, and which fandoms were you before Murdervers? To be honest, the OC question is quickly answered. I just really love character designing. Like when I got into art, I just liked making different characters, and I kind of started to be obsessed with it, and I have way too many characters I made over the years, and I studied what makes good characters and what their appearance says in it, and overall that is just a thing I really like to do. And to the edit stuff, like my first ever edit isn't really an edit, I just took the end scene where we dies and played some music over it, because I usually only watched YouTube and really didn't do it. But like for some reason I had this extreme temptation to put that one song and that one clip together, and then after some time I uploaded 2 and more shorts, and I found the fun in editing. And after some time I got big, and then I went viral, and now we had my current shorts uploads. And to theories, I think my first theory was something like 1,000 subscribers or 3,000 subscribers, and that is the point where I recognized if you're a shorts YouTuber, you aren't really remembered. The only thing people remember is your shorts, but not the creator. And this is the stuff I really didn't want it. I wanted to be remembered and not the shorts I did. So I started producing actual long videos with my personality and my voice. And if you compare it, my first Q&A was back when I was a shorts YouTuber, and I barely got any questions. Now I have tons of questions I can barely answer all at once, which makes me super happy. What the hell is even that? I mean, how did you make these Murdervers figures out of paper? I guess he's referring to these figures, which I'm currently obsessed with. And basically you can find a lot of those templates on Pinterest. You just print them and put them together. There has to be some quicker ones. How many languages do I speak? Well, I can speak 3 to 4 languages, but really I only can 2. English, like you obviously here. And German, ich wüsste nicht, was ich in Deutsch sagen soll, um es zu beweisen. And also I learned a little bit of Russian and Spanish, but I'm really not good enough to speak it. When do you think episode 8 will release? I'm taking a wild guess and say the 23rd of August, just a random guess. And who's my favorite YouTuber besides myself? So I don't know if you asked Murdervers YouTuber specifically, but like my favorite YouTuber right now is Boombob3D, but because not many of you are going to know him. I also like to watch the Click.
Please support my emotions, demon. Ow.
And if you're talking about Murdervers YouTubers, I can't really decide between Bloopers and Cosmic. Why my name is Raptor3137. I just forgot my own name. Well, actually, this is a funny story. That is my gamer tag I'm using since I'm probably like 5 years old. Like, I used to have the cringe gamer tags you had, like Sniper Killer 69 or something like that. And in each game I had a different name. And then I started playing a little game called Fortnite in the first season ever. And I needed a new name, and there was this one skin called Raptor, which I found really cool. And my favorite animal back in the day was a raptor. And basically the numbers are my birthday, just a bit souped around. What would I do if I was in the same room as V?
No, please stop beating my own eggshells in front of my family.
Die. You think Godzilla could beat? I don't even need to read the comment. Yes, he can. And I said I answered a stupid question, but this reminds me of those versus edits I see on YouTube, which I greatly dislike, like Who Wins, Son Goku, or Pomni von Digital Circus. Like, I despise those. Some of them are actually funny and good content, but most of them I call lazy and uninspiring. Next question is by Boombob3D. And he asks if I prefer digital or real-life art. I used to make all my art on paper because I just didn't have the tools to make digital art. And as I could you see earlier, I have most of my experience on physical art. I have like 4 entire books, thousands of pieces of paper where I just drawn on it, compared to my digital art skills aren't even over 100 pictures probably. But I do must say, for the things I want to draw, I like more digital art, because if you make mistakes or you want more saturated colors or just like undo a line you didn't want to do, it's so much more easy, because I like to switch up things while drawing, versus comparatively digital art I just can do all that and more with the most easiest step ever. And I do see the appeal for physical art. I just way more prefer the easiness and laid back approach to digital art. So but now, up to this point, I purposely avoided some questions because they were either directly involved or had as a second question something to do with Murdervers. To anyone that is new here, I'm working on a fan project for the last 8 months meanwhile, of a comic project that plays in an alternate universe of episode 7. And I just wanted to conclude the whole section about Murdervers in one big part, so you don't need to jump around and can tell a long story instead of short ones each time, like with the other questions. I'm gonna show each question while I'm answering them at the same time. But first of all, have I ever worked on an art piece I just threw up and gave away? Personally, my OCD or any of my other mental diseases I have, sorry but the list is long, it doesn't allow me to leave things unfinished, so I haven't thrown an art piece away. But what I did do is that I sometimes, if I finish an art piece and I greatly despise it, I bury it at the bottom of my shelf so I never have to look at it again. And the question includes, how often have I rewritten characters from Murdervers? And there's where the story begins basically. I have 6 entire story rewrites. At first I had a concrete image in my head what I wanted episode 1 to be like, and the only thing that changed throughout episode 1 is that in one scene the team appears in a universe where Sin never went evil, and I had a conversation between a good version of Uzi together with a good version of Sin talking to the main group, but I later changed it to a good version of Doll because I don't want to introduce variants just now. But I rewritten the second and every episode after that a lot. Right now I have a very concrete script and can go into productions. However, even that script was multiple times changed because exactly like Glitch does this, I want to tease things that are going to happen into the future. And I started working on this project before we knew that Tessin existed, so I assumed the person in the spacesuit was the actual human Tessa, but later, as we all discovered, Tessa died a long time ago and in the suit is actually Sin. So I rewritten the story to put hints into the story that Tessa isn't actually who she's supposed to be. One of the most asked questions is, what was my inspiration to start doing this comic? The thing is, I get easily inspired because the show is based on one picture I made a long time ago where I put what if under the picture where they announced the end dog plushie, and that is all what it is, a giant what if across the multiverse, where I always talk about that I like the concept of Murdervers so much because you can do so many different things. And of course you can't do everything if you have only one story to tell, but what if you have more than one story to tell? And so that is basically what I'm trying to do. And a lot of my inspirational phases where I changed the scripts came when something big happened in the community, like the reveal of Tessa, or when Intermission dropped. For example, Intermission, I added a scene where Uzi and V have an emotional fight and Uzi breaks down crying. Or through Immortals, and for example, through Animated a Thing, I added that Khan and Thad of the main universe are trying to rescue them and get them back to the main universe, but they are stuck in the universe. And also I've been asked what inspires me to make some of my characters. I guess most of the questions are about my main OC, which is the same. I get inspired by little things I like and just clump them together to one character I like. And coincidentally, when I made R4, I added so many things I like to her until I coincidentally created a character I like so much. And I'm so proud that I actually created this one because, and I know this is biased, but she's one of my favorite characters of all time, like right behind Mrs. Circle and stuff like that. For example, part of the hair is inspired by another picture I found on Pinterest. Or also, at first she was a normal disassembly drone, and then I started slowly to add backstory through random ideas I got throughout the day, like a second stinger. Or that her hair reflects her emotions, like in this picture her hair gets more spiky because she's mad. Or for example, if she's in love, her hair starts to rattle and she makes noises like a rattlesnake with it. Or for example, it's based on real life stories. My OC has PTSD because she was operated on while she was awake from sin, and that kinda traumatized her. I already talked about it in another video, but this story is inspired from a real life story I had. The day before operation I had recently, I had a nightmare featuring Sin again, and that nightmare, Sin strapped me to a table and operated on me, and this is what inspired me to give R4 that story. And through those little inspiration I get inspiration for my characters and my stories and etc. So the world is the biggest inspiration you can get for writing characters, because the world is basically a big stage, and a big stage is just a big amount of entertainment. You just have to know how you show that entertainment. The last question is by Lustron, which is, by the way, my amazing Uzi voice actor. She did an incredible job in the last thing, I just couldn't show it to you guys. But she asked if there would be leaks for Murdervers soon. And the thing is, it is a work in progress job, and like if you want to know the story, the scripts are all publicly available under different community posts, and most of the voice actors post their parts publicly, except for Art Tunes. I'm still waiting on your part, but also my art skills have improved over time and now take longer to do things, and I have to see what I want to prioritize, because I can work on videos and on Murdervers at the same time. It's just too much. So I do not know what or when Murdervers will come out because of all those reasons, and you kind of have to help me out with deciding what I'm supposed to prioritize, because apparently the interest is there. I never thought that many people would ask me stuff about Murdervers, because I thought people aren't even interested or interested in bigger stuff of other creators. But lastly, this was the last question I gotten, and I thank you so much for all the love and your support you have given me over the time. Please comment down below what you think and what I should prioritize and what you want me to prioritize. And overall, the last question I have to you all guys is that you have a good day. And I kinda wanted to, where I talked about leaking stuff, I wanted to show the main villain I have planned for the series. I wanted to show how he evolved, but I accidentally cut out that part and forgot to put it back in, so I put it right here. So Combadrone, you ask what the red guy in the picture was, and basically at first I didn't have a picture of him. Then he got recasted for the OC of Serial Designation U, but then there was some drama on Discord, and right now this is the current design, which might change later, but now seriously. See you in the next video.